As soon as Reagan's awake, I'd like a call. Yes, I'll call her. And the compazine, okay? You won't forget? She shook her head. No, I'll take care of it right away. Karras nodded, and with his hands in hip pockets, he looked down, trying to think of what he might have forgotten to tell Shadow. Always something to be done. Always something overlooked when even everything was done. Father, what's going on? He heard the secretary asking for something. What is it? What's really going on with Rag? Karras lifted up eyes that were haunted and seared. I don't know, he said emptily. I really don't. He turned and walked out the kitchen. As he passed through the entryway, Karras heard footsteps coming up rapidly behind him. Father Karras. Karras turned and saw Carl with a sweater. Very sorry, said the houseman, as he handed it over. I was thinking to finish much before, but I didn't get time, sorry. He handed the sweater to Karras. The vomit stains were gone, and it had a sweet smell. That was thoughtful. He said to him, thank you. Thank you, Father Karras. Carl spoke with a tremor. His eyes full. Thank you for your healthy restraint. Then averting his head, self-conscious, Carl turned and walked swiftly. As Karras watched him, he remembered him in Kinderman's car. Why? More mystery now, more confusion. Wearily, Karras turned around and opened the door. It was night. He was very. He stepped out of darkness into darkness. He crossed to the residence, groping toward sleep, but decided to stop by Dyer's room. He knocked on the door, heard advance and be proselytized, and entering found Dyer typing on his IBM selector. Karras flopped down on the edge of Dyer's cot as the younger Jesuit continued to type. Hey, Joe. Yeah, I'm listening. What is it? You happen to know of anyone who's done a formal exorcism? Joe Louis McSchmelling, June 22nd, 1938. Joe gets serious. How you get serious? Exorcism? You kidding me? Karras made no answer, and for moments he watched expressionless as Dyer continued to type, until at last he got up and walked to the door. Yeah, Joe, he said. I was kidding. Thought so. See you around the campus. Find funnier jokes. Karras walked down the hall, and as he entered his room, he looked down and saw a pink message slipped on the floor. He picked it up. From Frank. Home number. Please call. Karras picked up the telephone and requested that a call be put through to the Institute director's number. And as he waited, he looked down at his free hand, the right one. It was trembling with desperate hope. Hello? Piped a voice, a young boy. May I speak to your father, please? Yep, just a minute. Phone battery. Then quickly picked up. Still the boy. Who is this? Father Karras. Father Karras? Karras. Father Karras. Down went the phone again. Karras lifted the tremulous hand, lightly touching his fingertips to his brow. Phone noise. Father Karras? Yeah, oh, hello, Frank. I'm trying to reach you. I'm sorry. I've been working on your tapes at the house. Oh, are you finished? Yes, I am. By the way, this is pretty weird stuff. Yes, I know, said Karras, as he strained to flatten the tension in his voice. So what's the story so far? What have you found? Well, this type token ratio first. Yes, Frank? Now, I didn't have enough of a sampling to be absolutely